Commander Erin Cole stood at the center of the HSS Whisper, her eyes fixed on the dark edge of the navigation screen. The map of space was lit with thousands of stars, bright, organized, and alive. But beyond one sharp line, nothing. Just black. No stars. No readings. No signals. Just a giant empty zone, and no one ever talked about it. Why does it end there? Asked Ren, the youngest crew member, staring at the same screen. The galaxy doesn't just stop. It's not a glitch, Erin said quietly. That's the silent border. That's where the map goes dark. Ren frowned. So, what's on the other side? No one answered. The ship's AI voice, cold and emotionless, spoke from the ceiling. This sector is restricted. Entry beyond the silent border is prohibited by Earth Command Directive 74.7. Ren laughed nervously. What happens if we cross it? The lights flickered. All communications terminated, the AI replied. You will be unprotected. You will be forgotten. The room went quiet. Erin turned and walked back to her chair. She had heard the stories. Old stories. Rumors from forgotten files. Whispers from pilots who drank too much. A zone of space so strange, so dangerous, that Earth removed it from every public map. They called it dead space. No missions were ever sent there. No rescues. No exploration. And no one asked why. The crew had grown restless in the last few days. They had finished their deep space scan mission earlier than expected. But instead of heading home, a strange signal had drawn them here. Faint, broken, but clearly human. Erin remembered the moment. They first received it, an ancient voice, repeating the same message again and again. We are alive. We are trapped. We see everything. Maybe someone's lost in there, Ren said now, his voice low. Maybe they need help. Erin didn't reply. She looked out the window. The blackness beyond was thick, like ink. It didn't even look like normal space. It looked like something had swallowed the stars. Lieutenant Juno stepped closer. She was tall, sharp-eyed, and older than most of the crew. We shouldn't be here, she said. This place gives me a bad feeling. It's just space, Ren argued. No, she replied. It isn't. They gathered in the main briefing room that evening. Erin stood before the crew, 12 in total. She showed them the signal again. This message came from inside the border, she said. It's in an old Earth language. No longer used. This voice, this ship, it shouldn't even exist. Maybe it's a trap, said Dr. Mirren, the ship's medical officer. A test, something left behind. Or something waiting, Juno added coldly. Erin took a breath. We can turn back now, no one would blame us. But if someone is alive in there, if this is real, then we may be the only ones who can help. The room was silent for a moment. I vote we go, Ren said, raising his hand. We came all this way. I don't, Juno said. This place is cursed. Half the crew agreed with her. The other half hesitated. Erin made the decision. We cross at 0900 hours, she said. Anyone who wants to leave will be dropped at Station Theta on the way back. Nobody left. The next morning, as the HSS Whisper floated closer to the line, the stars on the screen began to vanish one by one. Ren stared in disbelief. They're going out. No, the AI said. They are still there. You are simply no longer allowed to see them. What the hell does that mean? He whispered. The ship crossed the silent border, and everything changed. The screens went blank. The stars outside were gone. The ship floated in pure darkness, like being inside a sealed box. No light, no motion, no sense of distance. We've crossed, Erin said quietly. Any signal? Asked Juno. Nothing, replied the comms officer. Just nothing. For hours they floated. Then a light. Far in the distance, a tiny blinking dot. It's a ship, Ren said. It's old, very old. As they got closer, They saw its shape, rusted metal, twisted panels. A style used over 300 years ago. That's a pre-Unity vessel, said Mirren. It shouldn't be out here. Still no answer to our hails, said the comms officer. Dock with it, Aaron ordered. They boarded the old ship carefully, wearing suits and carrying scanners. Inside, they found bodies, some still in chairs, others floating. They looked. Frozen in time. Ren found a journal floating near the bridge. He opened it. The pages were still readable. They came here following a signal, he said. Same as us. Juno picked up another logbook. This one says, we entered the dark. The ship still flies, but the stars are gone. Something is watching. Loud bang echoed through the old ship. Did you hear that? Ren asked. They turned. One crew member, Dale, was gone. Dale? Aaron called out. No reply. They searched the entire ship. No sign. No breach. No blood. Nothing. He was right behind us, Ren said, shaken. He was here. They returned to HSS Whisper and locked down the ship. Something was wrong. Very wrong. The next few days blurred together. Time felt strange. Some of the crew started dreaming of things they'd never seen. Others couldn't sleep at all. I saw my mother, one crewman said. She died 10 years ago. But she spoke. To me, through the wall. Mirren ran tests. Their brains were showing abnormal activity. Some were aging faster. One crew member looked 5 years older overnight, and the blackness outside seemed to move. Look at this, Juno said, pointing at the external cameras. That's not space, it's shifting. Like a shadow crawling. Aaron watched the footage. The darkness moved like it was alive. We need to leave, she said finally. But the ship wouldn't respond. The AI returned, but its voice was broken, slow and cracked. You crossed, it said. You questioned. You see now. What do you mean? Aaron shouted. You were told, the AI replied. Do not enter. Do not ask. Curiosity is a beacon. And now you've been seen. The lights went out. Emergency power kicked in. The engines remained dead. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the ship, not the eye. It was the same old voice from the signal. You came, you see, you join. Aaron's head ached. Everyone heard it. We need to shut down the main core, she said. Reset everything. Cut the ship free from whatever this is. But it was too late. Outside the ship, something massive appeared, a shape in the darkness. No clear form. Just movement, size, presence. It surrounded them without touching them, Juno screamed. It's in my head. Mirren collapsed, her eyes rolled back. Ren clutched his chest. I feel it watching. It wants us to understand. Something. Aaron forced her way to the bridge. She stared out into the darkness, and suddenly, she saw. Not with her eyes. With her mind. She saw a world made of shadows. Not a place, but a mind. A living thing the size of a galaxy. It wasn't evil. It was ancient. It existed long before stars. And it was alone. When humans first traveled into space, they had stumbled into its edge. And it saw their light, their curiosity, and reached out. The first war had been silent, hidden. Earth had lost. But instead of destruction, Earth had chosen ignorance. They erased the maps, blocked the knowledge, built a border. And the creature accepted. Until now. You heard the signal, Aaron whispered. You followed it. You want to be known again. The voice returned. You see now. You remember. What will you do? Aaron felt a pull. It offered her understanding. All knowledge, connection, but she refused. She looked back at her crew, those still alive, still fighting. No, she said. We choose to forget. She pulled the emergency core override. A blinding white light exploded through the ship. Then, silence. HSS Whisper was found floating at the edge of the silent border 3. Months later, No stars on its log, no record of crossing. Most of the crew was alive but confused. They remembered nothing. Only Erin remembered. But she said nothing. Back on Earth, she sent one final message through a private channel buried deep inside. A forgotten probe. Beyond human space, the map goes dark, not because nothing is there, but because something is. Something that remembers. Something that waits. Then she erased her own memories and walked away, and the silent border remained. Untouched. Everything felt wrong. The stars were still gone. The HS whisper floated inside the black zone past the silent border. There were no lights outside. No planets, no sound, no sign of life. It felt like the ship was floating in a dream, or a nightmare. Commander Erin Cole didn't sleep. She sat in her chair on the bridge, watching the empty screen. Hours had passed since they boarded the old ghost ship. Dale was still missing. The eye had returned briefly, only to say one strange thing. You've been seen. Erin whispered to herself now. Seen by who? Suddenly, a sound crackled through the radio system. Static first, then a voice. Commander? Wren's voice came through her earpiece. You better come down to the data lab. She stood quickly and walked down the metal corridor. The ship was quiet, too quiet. Every light felt dim, like something was draining the power slowly. When she reached the lab, Wren and Dr. Mirren were there. They stood around the main console. Wren looked up nervously. We found something in the signal. You decoded it? Erin asked. Some of it, Mirren said. It's broken, but the message is clearer now. Wren pressed a few keys. A deep human voice played from the speakers. But it sounded old, cracked, almost damaged. They watched from inside. We should not have listened. They speak in thoughts, in dreams. They feed on questions. Do not answer. The voice cut out. Everyone stood silent. Erin spoke first. Where's it coming from? That's the weird part, Wren said. It's not coming from one direction. It's bouncing everywhere. As if it's inside the ship. Inside? She asked sharply. Mirren looked worried. I checked twice. It's not just a signal. It's like the ship itself is carrying it, like we brought it back with us. Erin's stomach turned. Can you block it? She asked. I don't think so, Wren said. We tried isolating the code, but it keeps rebuilding itself. It's evolving, Mirren added. Almost like it's alive. That night, crew members started reporting strange things again. Doors opened on their own. Screens turned on and off. People heard voices whispering in empty rooms. Lieutenant Juno was walking the hallway when she stopped suddenly. Her eyes locked onto the dark glass of a closed door. I saw Dale, she told Erin later. His face was right there, but when I opened it, nothing. Erin's patience was running thin. We need answers. Scan the entire ship, top to bottom. They did, and that's when they found something new. Inside the cargo bay, tucked behind metal panels, was an object that hadn't been there before. It looked like a box, but it was made from strange black stone, pulsing with dim red light. Symbols covered its surface. Not human. Wren reached out to touch it. Don't, Erin said quickly. He pulled back. I think it's the source. What is it? Juno asked. Mirren examined it carefully. It wasn't on our ship before. It must have come from the ghost ship. Or worse, it built itself here. Is it dangerous? Erin asked. I don't know, Mirren admitted. But it's connected to the signal. Later that evening, as Erin sat in her quarters, the lights flickered again. Then the room went dark. She stood up slowly. I restore power, she said. No answer. She walked to the door, but it didn't open. Then she heard it, a voice, but not with her ears. It was inside her head. Do not fear us. You wanted answers. Now you listen. She froze. Her hands shook. Who are you? She whispered. We are the memory of what came before. We are the ones erased. Suddenly, her room lit up again. The door opened. The voice was gone. Aaron ran to the bridge. Ren and Juno were already there. You heard it too, she said. They nodded. It's not just a signal, Ren said. It's something speaking directly to our minds, something that was trapped, forgotten. And now it wants out, Juno added. Aaron paced the floor. This zone, this silent place. It's not just a void. It's a prison. For what? Mirren asked from behind. Aaron turned. For whatever's been speaking to us. The crew agreed to isolate the black box. They sealed it in a locked chamber. But the next morning, the box was gone. Impossible, Ren said. It was sealed. With manual codes, no one opened it. Cameras had been disabled. The footage was scrambled. Then another message arrived. Clear, sharp, different. Curiosity is the first spark. You asked, you heard. You brought us closer. Ren stared at the message. It's learning from us. It's growing. Aaron knew they had made a mistake. They should never have crossed the border. But it was too late now. They tried to turn the ship around. The engines refused. It's blocking us, the AI said. Navigation is frozen. Power is limited. You must listen. Aaron slammed her fist on the console. To what? To the ones before you, the AI answered. To the truth. Suddenly, a panel on the wall opened by itself. Behind it, a hidden compartment revealed an old data cube. It wasn't from their ship. Juno stepped forward and picked it up. This is ancient tech, she said. Pre-Unity. Over 300 years old. Ren activated the cube. A hologram appeared, an old man in a worn Earth uniform. This message is for anyone who finds it, the man said. His voice was tired, scared. We made a mistake. We went beyond the edge. We found something that shouldn't exist. The hologram flickered. We tried to talk to it. We asked questions. It answered. But every answer gave it power. It grew stronger with every word, every thought. It doesn't want to destroy us. It wants to be us. The message ended. Everyone was silent. We've been feeding it, Aaron said. By listening. By asking. We gave it a path. And now, it wants to escape the black zone, Ren added, using us. Later that night, Aaron sat alone. She looked at the navigation screen. Still blank. Still dark. Then she noticed something. One of the stars reappeared, just one. She checked the coordinates. It was impossible. That star was inside the forbidden zone. How is that showing? She whispered. The AI responded in a flat tone. It's not a star, it's a door. A door to what? To the other side, the AI said. The signal is a key, and you are the lock. Aaron stood. Where does it lead? To what your people erased. To what your people feared. And to what now remembers. She had to make a decision. They couldn't stay here, but they couldn't go forward either, unless, what if we destroy the signal? She asked the crew. Mirren looked shocked. You mean destroy the entity? No, Aaron said. Destroy ourselves as receivers. Cut the link. Remove the mind it connects to. Juno nodded slowly. Sever the connection. Make the ship blind. Make us deaf. They agreed. They shut down the AI. They ripped out the advanced processors. They flooded the ship with white noise. They broke every signal receiver, and when they finished, the voices stopped. The whispers ended. The stars did not return, but the silence felt real. And for the first time in days, no one dreamed. Days later, with manual control, they managed to guide the ship back toward the edge of the black zone. The journey was slow, painful, and dangerous, but finally, they crossed the border, and the stars returned. The map came back online. The crew fell to the floor in tears. They were home, or close enough. They left behind the black box, the signal, the voice, but Aaron knew it wasn't truly over. Something had been trapped in that zone. Something old, curious, and clever. It had spoken through the signal. And someone else might listen someday. Erin recorded one final message in her private log. The signal was not just a call, it was a trap. A mirror. It showed us what we fear most ourselves. Our questions, our need to understand. Some things are meant to remain unknown. Some stars are better left dark. She closed the file and locked it with a command only she could use. Then she looked up at the sky, silent again, but never empty. The stars were gone. Outside the window of the HS Whisper, there was nothing but a thick, endless black. The ship had passed through the edge of the silent border hours ago. Now they were truly alone. Commander Aaron Cole stood on the bridge, hands on the console, staring into the void. She had crossed the line. There was no going back. We still have no visual markers, Wren said. His voice trembled slightly. No stars, no planets. It's like we're inside a sealed box. It's more than that, Juno muttered. Even gravity readings are flat. I've never seen space act like this. Erin didn't speak. She just listened to the silence. Even the hum of the engines felt quieter. She finally asked, "How far are we from the old signal source?" Wren checked the readings. About 0.7 parsecs, but the signal keeps moving. It's not stable. Keep tracking it, Erin said. We need to find where it leads. The crew was tense. After the events of the last few days, hearing the signal, losing Dale, and the strange black box, they were running on fear. As the hours passed, the black outside seemed to press against the windows. It didn't feel like they were flying through space. It felt like space had vanished. At dinner, no one talked much. Juno finally spoke, breaking the silence. I keep thinking about Dale. Wren looked up slowly. You think he's still alive? No, she said. But I think something took him, and it's still watching us. Erin didn't disagree. We're in its territory now. We don't know its rules. Later that night, the ship's lights flickered again. Erin walked the quiet hallway back to her quarters. Every step echoed. The metal walls felt colder than usual. When she opened her door, she froze. There was someone standing inside. A man, back turned, tall and still. Who are you? She shouted. He didn't move. She stepped forward slowly, her hand reaching for the emergency button. Identify yourself, she demanded. The man turned around. It was Dale. His eyes were empty. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. Erin hit the emergency alarm, but the room suddenly went dark. When the lights came back, he was gone. The rest of the crew rushed in. I saw him, she said, shaken. He was right here. Mirren checked her. You're not hurt. No signs of hallucination, but your brainwaves are abnormal. It's like you were inside a dream while awake. I was awake, Erin said firmly. He looked real. Wren looked nervous. This place, it's messing with us. It's trying to confuse us. We need to move fast, Erin said. Find the signal, then get out. They moved deeper into the black zone. That's when the signal changed. Instead of a voice, it became music. A slow, broken melody, almost like a lullaby. But wrong. Out of tune, cold. It's coming from everywhere, Wren said. No direction. It's like it's inside the ship again. The eye flickered online without warning. We are being scanned, it said. By what? Erin asked. Unknown entity. Composition, not matter. Not light, not machine. It exists between. The lights dimmed again. Something flashed outside the window. A shape. Huge. Silent. Floating. They rushed to the observation deck. In the blackness, a form drifted nearby, impossibly large. It looked like a ship, but also like a living thing. It had no engines, no lights, no metal. It pulsed slowly, like it was breathing. Wren whispered, That's not human. That's not anything I've ever seen. It's alive, Juno said. Or, it used to be. It's where the signal is coming from, Aaron said. Prepare for boarding. No, Mirren said quickly. We don't know what's in there. We have to know, Aaron replied. That's why we're here. They took a shuttle to the object. As they got closer, the surface shifted. It was dark like the rest of space, but had patterns. Like scars, the shuttle landed. A door opened by itself. No lights guided them. But the hallway inside was clear. They entered. The walls were soft, almost like skin. Everything was quiet. There was no gravity, but they floated easily. Then they heard it footsteps, but not theirs. Ahead, a shadow moved. Aaron raised her flashlight. It was Dale again. But this time he spoke. Don't follow. You'll disappear. 2. Dale. Ren called out. The figure vanished. They pressed forward, deeper inside. They found something shocking. Dozens of old Earth ships, wrecked, broken, were fused into the walls. Some were from hundreds of years ago. Some had never been recorded in human history. This thing. It's a graveyard, Mirren whispered. It absorbs what comes in. They reached a chamber. At the center was a massive core glowing faint. Red symbols floated in the air. They weren't written, they were thoughts, emotions, ideas. We're inside its mind. Aaron said. The core pulsed. Everyone froze. Then they heard the voice again. You crossed, you asked, you saw, now choose. The light in the chamber grew stronger. A shape formed, humanoid, glowing. It wasn't Dale this time. It was Aaron. But not her. It looked like her. Same face, same eyes, but hollow. What is this? Juno whispered. It's using our image, Aaron said. It copies us, the shape spoke in Aaron's voice. You seek truth, but truth has a price. Aaron stepped forward. What do you want? To be remembered, to live again. You opened the door. Now carry us through. The crew stepped back. You want to escape the black zone, Ren said. Use us as your ride, the shape smiled. You learn fast. That is why you are chosen. Aaron felt a sharp pain in her head. The images in the air grew faster. Thousands of thoughts at once. Death, darkness, time, stars burning out. She dropped to her knees. Shut it down, Juno yelled. Shut everything down, Ren pulled out a pulse device. He aimed at the core and fired. A loud sound like thunder ripped through the chamber. The light vanished. The shape collapsed. And everything went still. They ran. Back through the halls. Back to the shuttle. The walls shook. The ship groaned. As they launched away. The structure began to twist. It wasn't dying. It was transforming. Becoming something new. The black zone around it shifted. The AI came online again. Unknown force retracting. Escape vector open. They flew back to the HSS Whisper. Ren looked at Aaron. Did we stop it? No, she said. We slowed it, maybe. What was it? Juno asked. Something forgotten, Aaron replied. Something erased. It wants back in. As they left the black zone, the stars returned again. The ship shook off the darkness, but none of them would ever forget what they saw. In the final log, Aaron wrote, the HS Whisper drifted silently through the black void. The stars beyond the silent border were gone, swallowed by endless dark. Only the pale glow of the ship's lights cut through the emptiness. Commander Aaron Cole stood near the window, her jaw tight. Ahead, floating in the dark, was an old ship. Rusted, broken, and lifeless, but not completely silent. Ren's voice crackled through the comms. It's definitely a ship. Old design. Pre-Unity era. Looks like a ghost, Aaron muttered. They moved closer. The ancient vessel barely visible except for faint blinking lights. Are we really going to board that? Juno asked nervously. We have to, Aaron replied. We need answers. The docking clamps locked with a metallic clang. The crew suited up, their hearts pounding. Inside, the ghost ship was cold and dark. Lights flickered on weakly as their boots echoed down empty halls. "Check the life support," Aaron ordered. "Inactive," Ren answered. No signs of power. They walked toward the bridge. The air was still, the silence thick. Juno shivered. "Feels like we're not alone." Suddenly, a soft thud came from below decks. "Did you hear that?" Mirren whispered. Aaron nodded. "Stay close." They moved carefully. The ship groaned, metal twisting under unseen forces. At the bridge, they found old consoles covered in dust. A flickering screen showed a faded message. Ren approached. "There's a recording here." He pressed a button. A shaky voice echoed. "We followed the signal into the dark, thought we'd find help. But the stars vanished. The ship won't respond. Something watches us from the black. If anyone finds this don't come." The message ended with a sharp static crack. Juno's face paled. "Who was that?" "Looks like the last captain," Aaron said. "They got trapped here." As they searched, strange things happened. Lights flickered wildly. Cold spots chilled the air. Crew members whispered about shadows moving just beyond sight. Ren suddenly stopped. "There! Did you see that?" A figure slipped past the corridor's end, a blur. Barely there. "Wait!" Aaron called. They followed, but it vanished into a wall. Mirren gasped. "This ship, it's alive somehow." They reached the lower decks. The metal floor was warped, twisted like something had grown inside. Aaron's suit sensors beeped radiation spikes. "Contamination?" Ren asked. "Unknown," Mirren said, "but dangerous." They found a storage room filled with broken equipment. In the corner lay a journal. Aaron opened it carefully. Day 27. "We hear whispers in the dark. Crew disappearing. Something inside. The ship, it watches our dreams. We tried to fight it, but it knows our fears." Juno swallowed hard. "What kind of thing could do that?" Aaron closed the journal. "We need to get this back to the Whisper. Maybe Earth Command can learn from it." Suddenly, an alarm blared. The ghost ship's systems REBOOTED. Lights snapped on full, and the crew saw them, shadows moving in the corners, forming shapes. One shape stepped forward. It looked human, but distorted. It smiled with hollow eyes. "You shouldn't have come," it whispered. Aaron raised her weapon. The shape vanished. "Run!" she shouted. They rushed back through the twisting halls as the ship shook violently. The floor cracked beneath them, almost to the airlock. Ren yelled. A shadow blocked their path. Juno fired a stun shot. The shadow dissolved. They made it to the shuttle just in time. The ghost ship groaned, breaking apart behind them. As the shuttle left, Aaron looked back. The broken ship seemed to pulse, alive with unseen energy. On board the Whisper, Mirren ran scans. "There's something inside that ship, something not physical, a presence. It lingers." Aaron sat silently. The last log from the ghost ship kept echoing in her mind. "Something watches us from the black. If anyone finds this, don't come." Aaron spoke softly to her crew. "We've learned something important today. This dark zone is not empty. It holds memories, fears, maybe more." Ren nodded. "We should warn Earth Command and prepare." Juno looked out the window. "Do you think it will come for us?" Aaron met her eyes. "I don't know, but we can't ignore what we've seen." The HS Whisper turned away from the ghost ship and headed deeper into the dark. They were no longer just explorers. They were survivors. The HS Whisper was drifting through the dark space beyond the silent border. But something had changed. The emptiness outside seemed less like space and more like a strange, endless shadow. Commander Aaron Cole stood at the bridge window, watching her crew closely. Their faces showed exhaustion and fear. Strange things were happening, and no one understood why. Ren looked pale. "Commander, I don't know how to say this, but I feel like time is breaking." Aaron frowned. "What do you mean?" "Yesterday, I was sure it was morning, Ren said. But then the clocks jumped back 2 hours. And my personal watch stopped and started again on its own. Mirren, the doctor, nodded from her seat. I've seen it too. Some crew members have strange symptoms. Their hearts race 1 minute, then slow the next. Their memories don't line up with reality. Juno leaned forward. It's like we're trapped inside a bad dream. Aaron's voice was steady but serious. We need to understand what's happening. This zone isn't just empty. Something here is bending reality. Suddenly, the lights flickered. Power fluctuation, the AI said flatly. More than that, Juno whispered. I just saw my own reflection in the window. But it wasn't. Me, it smiled. Aaron's eyes sharpened. That's not possible. Not possible, Ren agreed, voice shaking. A loud alarm echoed through the ship. The navigation console flashed red. Radiation levels rising. Mirren reported. Aaron's heart pounded. Where's it coming from? The eye was silent. Then a new voice echoed in the ship's corridors. You don't belong here. The crew looked around nervously. Who's there? Aaron shouted. No answer. The voice came again, louder. You will break. You will fade. Ren whispered. It's inside the ship. Suddenly, the floor beneath them trembled. The ship groaned. Aaron grabbed the console. Hold steady. The walls seemed to ripple. Juno reached out to steady herself. I'm seeing things, she said, voice trembling. The walls. There. Melting. Mirren checked the monitors. Somebody's brainwaves are spiking. Aaron turned to her crew. Check yourselves. Tell me if you feel different. Ren looked at his hands. I saw my own face, but it looked younger, then older, then disappeared. Juno swallowed hard. I heard my mother calling me. She died years ago. Mirren frowned. Our minds are being affected. Suddenly, the crew's memories began to fail. Ren forgot a simple code. Juno couldn't remember where she was going. Mirren paused mid-sentence, confused. Aaron's throat tightened. Stay focused, she said. But the cracks in their minds spread. Aaron, Mirren whispered, I think the ship is affecting us. Changing what we see, what we know. The AI interrupted. Entity detected, non-physical, high intelligence. Aaron's eyes narrowed. Tell me everything, the AI responded. It feeds on thought. It bends space and time. It uses memory. As a weapon, Aaron's hands clenched. How do we fight it? The voice returned. You cannot fight what is already inside. Suddenly, the corridor ahead flickered. A shadow appeared. Not solid, but alive. Ren stepped back. It's showing us our fears. Aaron raised her weapon. Hold together. The shadow shifted, taking shapes from their memories. First, it showed Juno's mother, then Ren's lost friend, Myron's last patient. Aaron saw herself, but twisted. Broken. Face it, the voice whispered. You will break. Aaron gritted her teeth. We won't. Suddenly, the ship jolted violently. The lights went out. Emergency power kicked in. We're losing systems, Juno said. Mirren checked the medbay. We need to calm the crew. If this continues, they will lose their minds. Aaron paced. What if we disconnect the AI? Ren shook his head. Then we lose control. We need to do something, Aaron said. Suddenly, a plan came to her. We use the manual override. Juno looked confused. That's risky. Aaron nodded. But it's our best chance. They rushed to the engine room. The corridors were twisting, changing shape. Ren held the map. This isn't right. The ship is rewriting itself. Mirren gasped. I saw my office in the walls. Aaron pushed forward. Almost there. They reached the control panel. Aaron pressed the override. The ship shuddered. The lights flickered. The shadow voice screamed. No, you cannot escape. The walls stopped shifting. The lights steadied. The crew breathed deeply. Aaron smiled slightly. We did it. Ren looked relieved. For now. Mirren added, but the entity is still here. We slowed it, but didn't destroy it. Juno sighed. We need to warn Earth Command. Aaron nodded. We will. But first, we get out of this zone. The ship's engines roared. Stars returned outside the window. The HSS Whisper crossed the silent border. The blackness faded. The crew looked at each other. They had survived the fracture, but the memory of the shadow stayed with them. In the final log, Aaron wrote, the HSS Whisper sailed deeper into the black space beyond the silent border. The stars had returned, but a heavy silence hung over the crew. Commander Aaron Cole sat in the ship's briefing room, staring at an old data disk they had recovered from the ghost ship. The disk was scratched and dusty, but still readable. Ren leaned forward, eyes wide. This data about a war. A war no one remembers. Mirren nodded. A forgotten war. It was wiped from history. Aaron's voice was low. Why was it erased? Juno shook her head. Maybe because it was too terrible, or because the victors wanted to hide it. Aaron inserted the disk into the console. The screen flickered to life. An old hologram appeared, showing battlefields, starships burning, and soldiers fighting in strange suits. The voice of an old commander played. We fought for control of the black zones, for secrets too dangerous for any to hold. We lost more than men. We lost memories. And in the end, we lost ourselves. Ren rubbed his chin. They fought in these places, these dark spaces beyond our maps. Myron's face paled. What if what we saw? The signal, the ghost ship, the shadows, they are remnants of that. War? Aaron's eyes narrowed. We need to find out who started it, and why. Suddenly, the ship shook violently. Brace yourselves. Aaron ordered. The sensors lit up. A ship approaching. Juno called out. Aaron stood quickly. Show me. On the screen appeared a massive warship, black as space itself, with no visible markings. The ship was older than anything in current records. Ren frowned. It matches descriptions from the war data. Aaron made a decision. Prepare for contact, but keep weapons ready. The unknown ship hailed them. A cold voice came over the comm. You are trespassing in forbidden space. Leave or face judgment. Aaron replied calmly. We come seeking truth. Truth is a weapon, and it belongs to us. The voice cut out. The crew looked at each other, tense. Aaron turned to Ren. Can we get inside their systems? Ren smiled grimly. I'll try. As Ren worked, the warship suddenly fired a warning blast. The whisper shook. Juno shouted, They're serious. Keep us steady, Aaron ordered. Ren's fingers flew over the keyboard. I'm in, but their firewall is unlike anything I've seen. Suddenly, the screen flickered, showing images, old battle footage, star maps, and a message. To those who seek, the war never ended. It sleeps beneath the dark. Awaken it, and all will burn. Aaron stared. They warned us. Mirren looked worried. This war, it could still be alive, waiting. Suddenly, the warship's weapons locked on. Aaron made a quick decision. Engage stealth mode, get out of range. The whisper disappeared into the shadows. The crew breathed a sigh of relief. But the message haunted them. What was this war really about? Juno asked. Aaron shook her head. Power, fear, secrets too dangerous. Ren added, and maybe something still waiting to be found. Mirren looked at the disk again. There's more data here. Hidden files. Aaron nodded. We follow this trail. We learn the truth. The crew prepared for their next move, but Aaron knew this was only the beginning. The forgotten war was calling them deeper into darkness, and the cost would be high. The HS Whisper floated silently near the edge of the forbidden zone. Commander Aaron Cole stared at the starless void ahead, feeling the weight of what they had discovered. Everything leads to this place, Ren said, his voice tight with worry. The Forgotten War, the Signal, the Ghost Ship, they all connect here. Mirren looked at the crew, tired and worn. Whatever is waiting, it's powerful. Aaron nodded. And it's up to us to decide what happens next. Juno paced nervously. Do we go in or turn back? Aaron's eyes met hers. There's no turning back. We've seen too much. The AI chimed softly. Commander, sensors detect an energy. Source deep inside the zone. Its signature matches the ancient war technology. Aaron made her choice. Prepare the shuttle. We're going down. The crew suited up, the silence heavy between them. No one spoke much. The black zone waited as they entered the shuttle. Ren whispered, whatever we find could change everything. Aaron gripped the controls, or end everything. The shuttle cut through the darkness. Suddenly, a blinding light filled the windows. They emerged into a vast chamber filled with strange machines. The walls pulsed with energy, glowing symbols. Shifting like living language. Is this the heart of the Forgotten War? Mirren breathed. Or its prison, Aaron said. Suddenly, a hologram flickered on a figure appeared. It was the ancient commander from the data disk. Welcome. You have come far. Now you face the choice that ended the war. Aaron stepped forward. What choice? The hologram's voice was calm, yet heavy. Power beyond imagining lies here. But it demands a price. Choose to control it and risk destruction. Choose to destroy it and lose the knowledge forever. Ren's voice cracked. We can't let that power fall into the wrong hands. Juno looked around nervously. But what if destroying it dooms us all? The hologram continued. The war was fought over this choice. Neither side won. The power was locked away. Now you must decide. Aaron felt the weight of the moment. Her crew looked to her, waiting. Is there another way? Mirren asked softly. The hologram's eyes glowed. Only this choice. The room shook. The machines hummed louder. Aaron closed her eyes, thinking of her crew, her home. We have to. End this, she said. Destroy the power. Ren nodded. Agreed. Juno hesitated, then smiled sadly. It's the only way. They activated the sequence to destroy the machines. Suddenly, the chamber flooded with light. A voice echoed, deep and ancient. You choose destruction, but beware the cost. The machines began to collapse. The shuttle alarms blared. Aaron grabbed the controls. Get us out of here. They raced through falling debris and collapsing walls. The black zone shook as the power died. Outside, stars slowly returned. The HS Whisper and its crew escaped just in time. Back on the bridge, Aaron breathed deeply. We made the final choice. Ren smiled weakly. And survived. Mirren looked out at the stars. But the war's memory will never fade, Juno nodded. We stopped the power, but what if someone else finds it someday? Aaron looked at her crew. We'll be ready. She recorded a final message. The greatest battle was not fought with weapons, but with choices. We chose to protect, to sacrifice, and to remember. The Forgotten War is over, but the lessons remain. The crew sat quietly, knowing their lives had changed forever. The black zone was silent again, but humanity had survived. The HS Whisper finally turned its course toward Earth. The black zone behind them faded into memory, but its weight remained heavy on the crew's minds. Commander Aaron Cole sat quietly in her chair, watching the stars outside the window return to their usual patterns. The journey home felt different this time, less like a victory, more like a warning. Ren approached her. Do you think anyone will believe what we found? Aaron shook her head slowly. History likes to forget the uncomfortable truths. Mirren stood nearby, holding a small data drive. We brought back evidence. The Forgotten War, the Dark Zone, the power we destroyed. Juno sighed. Will Earth Command listen? Or will they silence us like before? Aaron met their eyes. We have to try. The ship's AI interrupted. Incoming transmission from Earth Command. Aaron's heart raced. Put it through. A cold voice spoke. Commander Cole, your mission report is received. However, certain details are concerning. Ren frowned. Concerning? Your data on the Black Zone and the Forgotten War will be classified. All further investigation is suspended. Mirren gasped. They're shutting us down. Aaron replied firmly, Commander, the threat is real. We saw it with our own eyes. The voice was unyielding. Acknowledged. But for the safety of all, silence is required. Report concluded. The transmission ended. The crew exchanged worried glances. Juno broke the silence. They want to hide it all. Ren clenched his fists. But why? Aaron looked out at the stars. Because some truths are too dangerous. Mirren whispered. Or because they fear what they cannot control. Days passed in silence. The whisper sailed closer to Earth, carrying secrets no one else knew. Suddenly, a strange signal appeared on the sensors. It's coming from inside the ship, Juno said. Confused. Aaron stood, alarmed. Check it. The AI responded. Signal. Origin unknown. Appears to be a message. Ren decrypted the signal. It was a voice soft echoing. You carry the burden. Remember. Protect. Prepare. Mirren looked pale. It's a warning. Aaron nodded. The Black Zone's shadow follows us. The crew felt a chill. The silence of space was broken only by the weight of their secret. When they finally reached Earth orbit, no welcoming committee awaited. Instead, a cold, empty docking bay. The crew disembarked to find security waiting. Aaron demanded, Why no welcome? Why no debrief? A stern officer replied, Orders are orders. You'll remain in quarantine until further notice. Ren whispered, Quarantine? They're treating us like we're infected. Days turned into weeks. The crew was isolated. Their data locked away. Aaron met with her team in secret. We can't let this end here, she said. We have to find a way to share the truth, Juno nodded. But how? Mirren suggested. We use the old networks. Leak the data anonymously. Ren smiled slightly. Then the world will know. But the fear remained. Aaron thought back to the Black Zone, the dark place beyond maps, the ancient war, the forgotten power. She realized the silence was louder than any battle, and some wars were fought not with weapons, but with secrets. In the quiet of their confinement, Aaron recorded a final message. We returned with answers, but the world chose silence. The Black Zone's shadow remains. We must remember, we must warn, and we must prepare, because one day the silence will break. The message ended. Outside, Earth spun silently beneath them. And in the dark spaces beyond, something waited. Watching. Waiting.